she ever addressed her children as dears. She crossed out the line and began again. To Rajni, Jezmeen, and Shirina. There. A command for their attention. She used to stand at the foot of the stairs and shout all 3 names, even if she only wanted one of them to come down. She could always find something for the other 2 to do once they arrived. It only worked for a while. Then Jezmeen started calling back, "Which one of us specifically?" To Rajni, Jezmeen, and Shirina. By now I am dead. It is just as well because I've had enough of this ghastly life. All this working and suffering and trying to take care of myself for no bloody reason. Please enjoy your health while you have it, because once your body betrays you, no comforts in the world will make up for your loss. No, she couldn't leave them with that. It was too honest. If these were her last words, they'd never forgive her. She folded the sheet and set it on her side table, weighing it down with the pen, and then she closed her eyes. How did she want to be remembered? She had been a wife, a mother, a widow, and a grandmother. Sikh funerals didn't include eulogies, so her daughters would be spared the task of scraping together a list of her meagre achievements. On some days, she thought she knew which of her daughters would remember her least kindly, and on better days, she assured herself that all of them would at least agree that she had tried her very best. Sita pressed the button to call for the nurse again. It took a while this time, but eventually, the rail-thin girl, with the tattoos and half her head shaved, arrived. She was not as friendly as the Jamaican nurse who sometimes squeezed Sita's hand and said, "You rest now." But she smiled when Sita asked her, "How old are you?" "I'm 27, she replied. There were zigzag patterns shaved into the sides of the girl's scalp. Sita wondered what man found this sort of thing attractive. "Have you ever been to India?" she asked. "No," the nurse said, a bit regretfully, which pleased Sita. "If your mother asked you to do something for her, no matter what it was, would you do it?" she asked. The nurse slid Sita's table down the bed so she could tug at the edge of the blanket, which was bunched up by her feet. Her fingers grazed the knuckles of Sita's toes. "Of course I would," she said. "Now, is there something you need? Because what is your religion?" Sita asked. Her question was met with narrowed eyes. "I do believe that's a very personal question to ask." Sita frowned. There was a reason she liked the Jamaican nurse better. She wore a thin gold cross that hung just beneath the V-neck of her scrubs. "Oh, Lord!" she wheezed quietly, stretching her back at the end of a long shift. "Can you hand me my pen and paper, please?" Sita asked. As the girl reached into the drawer next to the bed, Sita's heart leapt into her throat. "Not there." "It's right there, on the table," Sita snapped, pointing at the table, now out of her reach. Although the nurse was unlikely to pluck Sita's jewellery pouch from where it was nestled between a prayer book and her mobile phone charger, Sita had lived long enough to know that you could never be too careful. The girl moved the table back and then left, probably to grumble and tell the other nurses that they were right. Old Mrs. Shergill needed to cock it already. Last week, Rajni had stormed into the nurses' station and told them off for leaving Sita shivering during a particularly agonising episode. "I don't care if she's already got a blanket. Get her another one," Rajni nearly shouted, making Sita want to weep with gratitude and also chastise her daughter for making a scene. The pain was inching into her body now, and she could sense that it was going to be a bad day.